Round 3 of the Osborn's Transport New South Wales HQ Holden Championship. Again, we're at Sydney Motorsport Park, the second visit this season, this time under lights for race 3 as we take a look at the circuit and some of the highlights. Turn 1 to turn 2, a great spot for overtaking in the HQ Holdens. If you can get the run through turn 1, you'll be able to set yourself up comfortably through the back section 5 and 6. 6, a hard braking zone, also able to be able to get yourself up those spots. 7, coming around Corporate Hill before we make the downhill braking zone into turn 8. A good place to position yourself before the long run onto the back straight into the final complex, which is all about speed and momentum before the run down the main straight here at this wonderful Western Sydney venue. You can just see there the lap record for the HQ Holdens set with Greg King back in 1997 at a 158.467. They'll be chasing that this weekend. As the sun sets, we'll be racing into the evening, but earlier on in the afternoon, it was Ashton Parker who set pole position for Division B. We caught up with him down in the pits.
Ashton Parker, pole position in Division B. How's it feel out there?
Yeah, it feels great. It feels super good. A little bit slippery today, in race 1. Qualifying was a bit more grippy, but it's good. Still good fun out there.
Obviously, we've got some wind coming along. Do you feel that in the car? Does the crosswind affect the driving?
Oh, you can hear it coming down the straight, pushing you a bit side to side, but besides that, you don't really feel it.
Some great weather today. No rain or anything. Is the grip good in the car? Grip on track?
I'm still working on car setup, so it's hard to tell now. But from a lot of the drivers hearing, it's a little bit slippery out there. Yeah.
You've been through race 1. How was race 1? How did it feel?
Yeah, it felt good out there. I was overdriving the car at the start, but just got to work on my driving, try and get more consistent. But I had some great racing out there with a few of the other guys, so it was good fun. Obviously,
there's some big, heavy old cars. Does that make them hard to sort of handle around a track like Sydney?
Yeah, definitely. The saying is they don't go, they don't stop, and they don't turn. So somehow you got to make them do all those 3 things.
And obviously you were able to make them do all those things by getting it on pole for Division B. Is there anyone you want to thank?
Mum and Dad. Get me on the track every time, and thank you, Mum and Dad.
What's the plan for the rest of the day?
Give it 100%, do my best, and wherever we end up. Just have fun the way.
Great to see the young guns coming on strong in Division B for the Osborn's Transport New South Wales HQ Holden Championship. Make sure to keep an eye out down in that middle order. They'll be fighting hard for position as we run down into turn 1. And it's David Proglio who's been able to get the launch and swing around Chris Moll down through turn 1 as the rest of the field sits in behind. You can see Jared Harbour there in the Equity Views Constructions car. He's trying to make up ground as we go on board with Glenn Robinson in the Robinson Motorsport car. He was looking to the outside of Jason Johnston down at the back end of the top 10. And hopefully they'll be able to make up those positions. All that hard driving in the early stages. It's all to try to find your line. Of course, HQ is all about momentum and all about just trying to get some clear air as well. We know that when you can start to open up that gap and just focus on your line and length, you'll be able to pull away from the field, and that's exactly what Chris Moll wants to do. A lock-up for Proglio at 6 has enabled Moll with the opportunity as they come down around the back of Corporate Hill into the hairpin. Just look at the wheel work from Chris Moll. He's trying to stay there on the outside with Proglio because he knows that would give him the run. Unfortunately, not quite able to stay there as we go on board with Robinson again, and this shows you just how busy it is in the mid-pack. These guys are fighting just as hard as those leaders, and they're all trying to get those positions because it's all important in the early stages. As we come down to the end of lap 1, sitting in 3rd place there is the 17 of Luke Harrison in the Sydney Medicrete car. So Harrison, we've seen him right up the front before. He'll no doubt be looking to fight with these two. Proglio continuing to hold on from Moll. Everybody seeing the opportunity to pick up a few victories here and some championship points and bring that battle ever tighter at the top. It's Moll who's looking to continue on a strong season so far, our defending champion. See here, Jason Moll under a bit of pressure from Barker going around the outside as Allen's there as well. And the 202 of Jared Harbour has not been able to get through. We saw him in those early stages looking around the outside. Now Harbour's going to try to find the room at turn 6 behind Barker, who gets the move done on Moll. And it's a good battle group here with Deering in behind it as well. Of course, Deering, a previous champion of the category in seasons gone by. A little bit of a touch from Moll. I don't think he planned to do that on the exit of the hairpin. Yeah, he gives a wave to Proglio as they come down the back straight. So Obviously, he did not mean to touch there. HQ Holden's not really about the touching and rubbing anymore. They like to get close, door handle to door handle, but there's no need for these cars to be making unnecessary damage that the guys need to repair, and the guys at the front all the way through the field know that. It's mostly respectful racing in amongst them all. Everybody wants to go home with a straight car as Chris Moll gets the job done down into turn 1. Proglio's going to try to see if he can slide in behind to make sure to take the incentive away from Harrison, who is sitting there with bated breath waiting to try to pick up one of those positions, no doubt wanting to get to the front of the field as well, as we go on board with Dave Allen in the DJA mechanical car. Of course, the Osborn's Transport HQ Holden Championship, a great championship to get involved with if you like tight racing. There's a few HQs for sale around the traps, and if you'd like to know more, get in touch with the committee through the Facebook page or the website. They'll be able to give you a lot more information, as Deering now works on the back of Jason Moll, who is, unfortunately for him, slid a little bit further back in the field than he probably should be from the starting point of this race. They drag strip down the back straight, and Moll's going to be able to stay in front of Deering there as long as he can hold the position through the final complex. So it looks like Deering's going to be braver under brakes, and he does. He gets past him. So Allen sitting there with the watching brief, he'll now be looking at the opportunity to get past Jason Moll. So Moll without the pace that you would expect from those Command Digital signage cars at the moment, and he finds himself in amongst some battles. And now down the inside of Deering, so he got the drive onto the main straight. You can see Allen soaring at the wheel, not sure exactly where to go. He's going to try to make it 3 wide. No, he doesn't. Sits in behind. He'll now work to the outside of Jason Moll as Deering locks up through 2 and gets in front. And buying into this one as well, just behind them all, is Darren Parker in the Nationwide Plastics car. He will be working his way through these guys as best he can if he gets the opportunity. So there's as much looking behind to make sure you're not under attack as you're trying to attack everybody else in front of you here in the Osborn's Transport HQ Holden Championship. Deering in front of Moll, Allen looking to the outside yet again. You can see the way the guys are able to chop and change lines, showing there's more than one way to skin a cat in the HQs at Sydney Motorsport Park. Of course, everybody very well aware of how this circuit flows and the ebbs and flow of it. They all know what they can do as Allen gets the draft down the main straight and now works to the outside of Moll and Deering. Look at the way he's soaring at the steering wheel there, trying to make sure he can keep up as much momentum as he can and get the nose tucked in as well. He'll sit in behind Deering, a bit of a front left brake lock up as the weight shifts on the front of the car, and Moll loses out in position in that battle. Further back, Kane Robinson in the Robinson Motorsport car. He's got a bit of a watching brief on Gordon McClay and Jason Johnston. Gordon McClay with a great livery on that HQ. Definitely turns your head with the Stockwell Building Supplies BUZ racing car, as we're on board again with Kane Robinson in the Robinson Motorsport car, trying to hold position behind them and see what he can do as a lock up for Allen into 6. He's slid the car through, trying to avoid the contact with Deering, and you can see he tried to pull out of that one. We take a replay here. Yeah, he's just locked the brakes at the end of the stop, tried to feed some more lock into it, but once you got 2 burning at the front, there's not a lot you can do. He makes light contact with Deering through turn 6 at the late stages of this race. Undoubtedly, those guys will have a chat about it in the pits afterwards, but very unintentional there from Allen as you're trying to fight in the heat of the battle, as Barker now has got himself up to the front group, and he looks like he's going to get down the inside of Harrison. He's made the move at 1 and he's going to continue it on at 2. Pushes past and gets there. Great driving from the pair of those 2 drivers, but Barker picking up the position to get himself into the podium spot. And the battles just continue on with some of the Division B cars as well. You can see Ashton Parker, our pole sitter. He's trying to chase down Robinson in front, McClay right in front of him. So Parker working on the back of the 47 of Gordon McClay. Spoke earlier about how that light livery looks on that car throughout the race meeting. It's a fantastic bit of wrap, and it'll be now Parker's job to see if he can not look at the wrap but work his way past. As back up at the front, Harrison will be looking to work his way back past Parker, but he's not going to have much chance because at the end of the race here, it's Chris Moll across the line. You can see very, very happy with that effort, shakes the fist and cheers the team home as we've got Chris Moll, Dave Proglio, Matt Barker, Luke Harrison and Jared Harbour, the top 5. Race 2 for the Osborn's Transport New South Wales HQ Holden Championship here at Sydney Motorsport Park. And we've got a car that has not moved away well from the starting line. Late afternoon sun in the driver's eyes as they come down towards turn 1. Chris Moll does not want to lose out on it this time, and we're 3 wide behind with Harper, Deering and Allen all side by side. It looks like Harper's going to be able to pick up those positions as Chris Moll and Proglio continue their battle through turn 2. Holding station, Moll will want to be coming out the victor here and just see if he can get his head down and run away as we go on board with Glenn Robinson in the Robinson Motorsport car. He's behind Saunders, and I think that's Ashton Parker just up in front of him. So a bit of work to do there. You can just see the sun is setting here at Sydney Motorsport Park. Of course, we've got one night race on the agenda for round 3. That'll be a different challenge for the drivers. We've done a little bit of night racing before, but we don't do it that regularly. So everybody has a little bit of learning to do as we come down the circuit. We get a little bit colder. On board with David Allen. He's trying to chase down Harbour after losing out in that 3 wide moment at the start of the race. And we can see here Darren Parker, he's up behind Glenn Deering at the moment, so he'll be looking to make up the position as we go on board with Ashton Parker, who's going to look to the inside of Robinson. Robinson chases him across the road all the way to the yellow line, so the 93 car there of Kane Robinson just wanting to make sure he keeps Parker behind. There was no overlap, so he's all right, but Parker now is going to work his way to the outside at turn 1, goes all the way to the grass, had to pull out of it a little bit. I think he just got a little bit too much momentum and maybe a little bit of red mist to try to get past there and make sure that he could take the position away after trying for it early in the lap. A bit of fluid coming out the back of Parker's car. They may well have just overfilled it for this race. So that's not really something to worry too much about unless the officials decide they want to take a closer look at it. But it should be fine by the time we reach the 2nd or 3rd lap of the race, as Parker continues to work his way on the back of Robinson and McClay just in front of them as well. So Parker with a bit of work to do. He's lost the ground here through the back section. Robinson with a little nudge. He's locked the front brakes down into the hairpin. Of course, that downhill braking zone we talked about with the track map. And now he's to the inside of McClay and he gets the position away. Parker's been able to get the drive out of the corner and he'll now look at the rear quarter of Robinson. Not quite close enough to make the move, but he does get past the 47 of Gordon McClay in the Stockwell BUZ racing car. So Ashton Parker in the Nationwide Plastics Parker Motorsport car now up against Kane Robinson. Great racing in the Osborn's Transport HQ Holden Championship. And just look at the straight line speed of Parker as he got out of the final corner. Robinson tries to move him gently over to take the best line away into turn 1, but Parker's going to be easily passed by that time. He needs to make sure he turns in though, because he'll need to protect the line here down into turn 2. You can just see Robinson trying to hold the speed. Lots of understeer on the exit of 1, but he's been able to make it work. It's a long way around at 2. He'll look to sort of switch back and get better drive. I'm not sure he's going to be able to as Ashton Parker now starts to work away with that fluid, still trailing from the rear of the car. Thought it would have gone away by now, but it'll clear itself up as we see the 202 of Jared Harbour. He's in front of Jason Moll, David Allen and Glenn Deering there in the number 4 as well. Right up behind David Allen as we take on board with him through the hairpin section. Now Jason Moll, Allen and Deering were all together, of course, in race 1. Harbour was in amongst it as well for a little bit before he managed to start pulling away. Moll will be getting sick of having Allen all over the rear of him here. He'll be wanting to get past Harbour and just try to get himself into some of that clear air as we go on board again with Dave Allen down the main straight. See if he glances up in the mirror. No, he's not even worried about Deering because Deering started to drop away. So Dave Allen full focus now onto Jason Moll, while Moll shows the nose to Harbour at turn 2. He actually has pulled a move there out of nothing really. Harbour's given him the room. They're going to run side by side out of 2 into 3, and Moll may well be able to just squeeze across the front here. We go on board with Dave Allen. He does. Moll takes the position. Now Allen's got the speed. He's going to go to the outside of Harbour and see if he can make that work down the run into 4. Let's see how well he can do here. It's a long way round at 4, but now the line becomes his at 5. He's still on the inside of Harbour. He may well just lose out. He does. Harbour's able to hold the pace a bit more effectively and use that line at 5. So he's been able to keep in front while Proglio has dropped into Matt Barker's hands here in second and third place. Chris Moll just staying far enough in front to not be under pressure in the braking zone. But it's Proglio and Barker who are fighting each other for position. And Barker, you'd have to say, has had the pace since the late stages of race 1. Has started to get his head around where he needs to be in these conditions, no doubt. And the Osborn's transport car sitting in third place is looking to go one better on the podium steps in the late stages of this second race. We'll continue trying to hold the draft as we see further back. You can see Moll, Harbour and Allen are still at it as well. So while the fights are happening up the front, they're all the way through the field in the Osborn's Transport HQ Holden Championship. Allen now to the inside of Jason Moll. He's going to make that work, and it looked like in the background, Jeff Mulligan in the C&B Engines car passing his teammate Glenn Deering. So I think Deering is actually slowing in this race, and Parker's going to come put some pressure on him as well. Speaking of pressure, Allen's felt it. He's locked the front left, and that's going to allow Chris Moll to get back up the inside. It'll be the outside for 3. I don't think he'll be able to do the move he did on Harbour, as Allen plucks a gear in the mid-corner and drives it out the other side. Still though, door-to-door racing. This is what you love to see in HQ Holdens, and Jason Moll picks up the position with yet another little lock-up for Allen. He's just getting a lot of weight distribution in that car as he now tips it in with Harbour on his inside. Harbour looking to try to make it work all the way down into the hairpin. He's got to brake very, very late there to make it work. He's trying around the outside now. Sideways for Allen out of the corner. That'll ruin his drive, and Harbour will pick up the position. So they're changing positions lap on lap here. It's hard for the scorekeepers to keep track and know where everybody is. As now Moll is going to be under pressure from Harbour. He goes to the outside and drives it around the outside, showing that if Moll could do it to him, he can do it in return. And he makes it work at turn 1 as well. As now Allen again with a lock-up. This time it's made him go wide. You can see he's almost out to the concrete on the exit of turn 2. So that'll drop him away from this battle. And I don't think he'll be able to get back into it with the laps winding down. Barker still all over the back of Proglio, but Proglio's had just enough speed to keep the intention away. And speaking of just enough speed, Chris Moll out in front. An easy victory at the end by HQ standards. Takes the second race win of the third round. Proglio in second, Matt Barker third, fourth goes to Luke Harrison, and fifth Jared Harbour. Final race of the third round of the Osborn's Transport New South Wales HQ Holden Championship, and we're under lights here at Sydney Motorsport Park as the field launches away. It looks like Barker's got a good jump. He's going to go to the inside and make it 3 wide for the lead down into turn 1. Moll backs out of it. He lets the other 2 go. So it's Proglio and Barker side by side, and the rest of the field swings on through. You can see Mulligan there in the number 5 car. He will continue the fight for the C&B Engines car. Unfortunately for Deering, he is out of the third race after DNFing the second. So unfortunate for him. We're used to seeing Glenn Deering right at the front, but that gives somebody else the opportunity to get in there as well, including maybe Brendan Healy in the hands-on first aid HQ extra car. He's down the inside of Saunders to pick up the position in the early stages, chasing down Ashton Parker just up ahead. You can see Harbour now showing the nose to Allen. Chris Moll has dropped back to third place, which is as deep in the field as he's been all weekend. He's got a bit of work to do here under lights at Sydney Motorsport Park to see if he can get himself back to the front of the field. Don't the HQs look resplendent under lights here as Proglio to the inside takes the position for the lead of the race from Barker. And he'll now try to get himself up and away and down the road because he knows just how quick Chris Moll is. Sitting in behind, Harrison is there waiting for an opportunity. Allen's there as well. Harbour's in amongst it. So all of these cars very, very close in the early stages of this one. Speaking of close, on board with Healy, you can see he's door-to-door with McClay. He's going to have to drop in behind him in the HQ Extra hands-on first aid car and see if he can make the move, maybe at a later corner. Harbour continuing to fight on the back of Allen. Not quite staying with Harrison, the pair of them, who's sort of dropping away from the 3 leaders a little bit as well. Looks like Harrison might have an electrical problem in the front of that car with his headlights. They keep flashing on. I'm not sure he's got enough time to be able to be flashing away himself. So I dare say they're turning on and off as he goes around the circuit. Allen under pressure from Harbour. It's not the first time or the last that we've said that this weekend for round 3 of the Osborn's Transport HQ Holden Championship. A Harbour to the inside, gets the position away. And Darren Parker working on the back of Jason Mole now, who has fought with these guys all weekend. Just something to see everywhere you look in the Osborn's Transport HQ Holden Championship. Of course, we've got to thank Osborn's Transport for all of their support of the championship over a fair few seasons now. They've raced in it and supported it and continue to come back and race in it as well. But out in front, Chris Mole now looks to the inside of Proglio. He's made the draft work down the main straight and pulls to the inside at turn 1, and he's back to the lead of the race. So didn't waste much time doing that. He's got the pace. Proglio's going to look back to the inside. But Mole, obviously with the setup this weekend, that is making him feel like he has got the power to be able to get past everybody. And sure enough, he's back to the front of the field as we go on board with Brandon Healy. He's closing down on the 93 of Kane Robinson and Ashton Parker behind. And look at that, all the way to the outside. The momentum through turn 1. The braking zone for 2, though. He's not able to pull the car up, and he slides it into 2. Unfortunate for Healy, backwards off at turn 2. He had so much pace in the early stage of this race. You have to wonder whether by going wide at 1 and rumbling across the ripple strip there, he actually caused a little bit of pad knockoff for himself. We've seen a few HQ Holdens not make the turn 2 corner when they've gone off the road through the bumps or run along that ripple strip. So maybe Healy has done the same thing. And of course, all these guys being young drivers, they're learning their way, learning their racecraft. A great place to do it with the Osborn's Transport HQ Holden Championship. And you can just see here, Kane Robinson and Ashton Parker fighting for the back half of the top 10, but still fighting in earnest as well. And Parker looking to the outside. He's not going to be able to make the run work there, but he will make it work between 5 and 6 and gets the position away before entering 6 even. But Robinson's going to sit there as well. And this is the thing. This is what slows the pair of you down as you're going side by side through corners. Great, clean, respectful racing, but giving each other room on those side by side moments is what enables other people to come back into the battle as well. And eventually Parker is able to get back to the front on Robinson. So Robinson with the work to do now after leading Parker for a fair few laps. And you can just see Jason Johnston has got himself off down the road, as well as we see Glenn Robinson now on the back of Gordon McClay. Another great battle in the field. And coming up behind them is Brendan Healy in the hands-on first aid car. He's closed these gaps down after that spin at turn 2. He's got the head down, found the pace, and that's an example of when you're not involved with the battle, you can focus on your race pace and get yourself back up to the people you were fighting with. Of course, he was in front of these guys before he spun, but he's now right with them again. So goes to show that good racecraft gets you back in amongst it as we go on board with Brandon Healy. Brendan Healy with the hands-on first aid HQ extra car will now start to work on the back of Robinson and see if he can clear Robinson and McClay and get himself back towards the front. McClay there with a little bit of a wide moment. Saunders just in front of them as well. Amanda's having a good run in the Stockwell BUZ car. And Brendan Healy on the back with the P plate on the rear, you can see. Learning his racecraft, honing his skills, and down the inside he gets of 1. He's going to look to go for the second one with McClay as well and see if he can be able to make that move down into 1. Tips it in. I think he might be having a look here at Saunders, though. There's a car across the road, and that is Allen on the outside of the road. Brendan Healy had to open the steering there and just allow the car to run wide. As we take a look at the replay of Allen, he's gone up on the grass on the inside. Darren Parker with a good avoidance as well, and he's ended up stuck on the exit of turn 1. So not the best place to be as this battle comes through, and good aware driving from the lot of them to get themselves past that. Brendan Healy gets himself back on track. Great heads-up driving from everybody to give each other space. Brendan Healy to just open the steering and be able to get past that one. And Allen's able to refire the car, no doubt when it was hot. He's just had a moment to restart it as Healy with a huge tank slapper around Corporate Hill, trying to get past Gordon McClay and pick up a few positions. He's got the head down. He wants to get himself back up to Ashton Parker and Kane Robinson, no doubt. Ashton Parker has taken off down the road on Robinson, But Healy working his way to the outside now to become the inside for the final complex. And he gets there for that position, carries a lot of speed. He's gone out over the concrete and he comes back on, but been able to keep the momentum up to the HQ and open up that gap. Out in front, Harrison to the outside of Barker. Proglio's in front. This is the battle for second, third and fourth in the race. It's been a race-long fight, but right at the end here, it's come closed right up. Nose-to-tail battle between the three of them. We'll have to see who can hold on to the line. Chris Moll has been able to pull out in front and absolutely open up a gap that is very, very comfortable for the final laps. And it's going to be Proglio trying to hold on from Barker as Moll comes across the line for victory. 3 race wins on the trot here at Sydney Motorsport Park for the third round of the Osborn's Transport HQ Holden Championship. Dave Proglio second, third goes to Luke Harrison, fourth Jared Harbour, and fifth to Matt Barker. We caught up with Chris Moll down in the pits to get his thoughts on a great race weekend.
Chris Moll, round winner once again. Wasn't so easy this round as compared to last round. How was it?
Oh, it was great, mate. Had a fantastic weekend again. We were lucky enough to get pole and the 3 race wins, which is something that we've been trying to do for many, many years now, over 10 years. And to do it back to back in 2 rounds is fantastic. And as you could sort of see in the races, the car's on fire. It's a ripper, and thanks to Rod and the sponsors, Command Digital Signage, Hoyts and Navori Labs for what they put in. We're reaping the benefits now. So. Yeah, as you said, it wasn't as easy as last time. I fluffed my starts a few times, so had a bit of work to do, but managed to get it done, which was good.
Obviously, you've got the setup pretty much sorted now for Sydney, or at least it seems like it. How's the car handling around here?
Yeah, it's good. This weekend was a bit greasy. I think I don't know whether it was a track or another category. We're not matching with tyres, but. All day it's been greasy, and in that final one tonight where I thought it was going to be greasy, it wasn't. It gripped up and it was nice. So, but we did follow a different category out tonight, so I think that might have helped. But yeah, cars on fire. The straight line speed in this thing is just ridiculous at the moment. So pretty happy.
With the night races, which is something obviously you guys don't get to do much, do you feel much of a difference in the car and the way it behaves in this sort of condition?
Yeah, especially tonight. It's pretty chilly out here. So the cars don't sort of get up to the temps as quickly as they normally do. Brakes cool off quicker, tyres don't get as hot and that sort of stuff. So it's it is a different kettle of fish, but it's a great bunch of fun and a great bunch of blokes to hang out with on a Saturday night. So it's good.
Great performance this weekend. Hopefully we see it again next weekend so we can see the Chris Moll show again. Anyone you want to thank?
Just want to thank the sponsors, Command Digital Signage, Navori and Navori Labs, and Hoyt Cinemas for what they put into it. Like I said, we're starting to reap the benefits out of the support, so we appreciate it very much.
Well, we hope you've enjoyed all the action from the third round of the Osborn's Transport HQ Holden Championship here on Blendline TV. Make sure to check out their Facebook page and website for more information on the season ahead and on how you too can get racing with the Osborn's Transport HQ Holdens. We hope you've enjoyed all the action here on Blendline TV. If you'd like to watch the podium presentations, they'll be up at the end of the outro. Until next time, bye for now.
So anyway, so it was fantastic racing. So we'll make it quick because we all want to get home because it's freaking cold. So for B Division, in third place was Kane Robinson. Where's Kane? Kane Robinson. All right, so we'll just move on. And in second place for B Division was Ashton Parker. Thanks, buddy.
Thanks, Dickie.
You want to say a few words?
Oh, not really.
Say a few words.
First of all, thank you, Mum and Dad. for getting the car ready and letting me have as much fun as I do here. And thank you to everyone, all the competitors. I just love coming here every time we're racing. So thank you.
Awesome. Well done, buddy. Well done, mate. And hopefully Kane will join us soon. But with an amazing drive, and he was up my clacker for a fair chunk of it. He did really, really well. His car was fast. He drove like a champion. So the winner of B Division for round 3 was Jason Johnson. Well done, buddy. Great work, mate.
I'd just like to thank Lisa and Caitlin, Tony for all your help, and it's great to have my mum here watching as well. Great race for everyone. See you next round.
Awesome. Thanks, Jace. Stay there. Hopefully Kane's here. He is. And here he is, 3rd place in B Division, Kane Robinson. Well done, buddy.
Good job.
Want to say a few words, buddy?
Yeah, just want to thank Mum and Dad and all the family for coming out. Everyone coming out for braving the cold, and yeah, I mean, Ashton and Jason for some good racing, and along with everyone else, it was really good fun out there today. So yeah, thank you.
Thanks, Kane. Well done. All right, guys, you can head back and go and warm up. Thanks very much, guys. And some of the best racing I've seen. I managed to sit behind a chunk of it, and it was really, really good to watch. Commiserations to one Matty Barker, who drove like a champion, but I heard he got a bit of a penalty. So I'm sorry about that, Matty. Unlucky, buddy. Unlucky. Stay there. Sorry. So in 3rd place for A Division with an amazing drive was Luke Harrison. Okay, Luke's not here. Rightio, well done, Luke. Congratulations. In 2nd place, he was there all day. He was leading a race, from what I understand. No surprises there. You were leading, weren't you? Anyway, he's confused. So 2nd in A Division is Dave Proglio. Fucking Thanks, Daz. Well done, buddy. Congratulations. Say a few words, please, my friend.
Oh, wow, what a weekend. Congratulations to Chris. Had nothing for you all weekend, mate, wherever you are. Outstanding driving. Matty Barker kept me honest. Unbelievable. Thanks to everyone for coming out. Great weekend, great bunch of people. Thank you very much.
Well you, big man. Thank you, buddy. Appreciate that. And last round he was the cream of the crop, and he's gone and done it again. So the car's quick, and we all know that our current state champion can steer. So the winner of A Division for round 3 was Chris Mole.
Oh, mic's on. Oops. Just like to thank all the competitors. Prog's super fast all day, mate, and yeah, I didn't know that I was going to get you in that last one. I was chasing you and Matty around for a little while there, and you guys were both super fast, so that was awesome. Glad I did, though. Thanks, mate. No, I just want to thank the sponsors, Command Digital Signage, Hoyts and Navori Labs, for what they do and getting us out here. Pop, he's an absolute legend, and keeps making the thing go faster and faster, so appreciate everything that everybody does. So thank you.
Thanks, mate. Well done. All right, boys, you can head back now. Well done. And guys, I just want to also thank our sponsors for the round. For the year. So Osborn's Transport, MHA Euro, DJM Mechanical, Command Digital Signage, iGutter, Equity Views. Who have I missed? Gilcon. I said Gilcon. So thanks very much for all your support, guys. Without you, we couldn't go racing and enjoy what we do. And Dave Amor, if I can invite you over to do Best Presented, which is kind of pointless, but let's do it anyway.
Thanks, Darren. Congratulations, New South Wales. An excellent event. It's an all-dayer under lights, which is something a little bit different and certainly brings the colourful scheme of some of the cars out. The car that is the best presented, and we've all had a look at it and seen how good it is Luke Harrison, the saintly car. Well done, guys. Absolutely, that is an absolute brilliant car, Darren.
Thanks, Dave. No, I think we all agree it was fantastic. The turnout on that car was amazing. So, guys, it's cold. Thanks very much for a fantastic round. We're back here again in about 5 weeks. For those of you who don't know, it's on the Druitt circuit. Druitt? So the Druitt circuit is basically where you go into turn 4 and you just kink through and then join up at the bottom of the hairpin. So it's going to be a really, really cool round, short track. So it's going to be a lot of fun. So hopefully we see all you there and we get to go and do it all again. So thanks very much, everyone. Much appreciated. Thank you.